Can we take 3 vows for Bhante now together? Thank you. Okay. Anybody want to move forward a bit? Actually, you can leave some space for those at the back who come back a bit late.
Short-sighted glasses. Excuse me, I don't have a very loud voice. Yeah. Can I take out this one? It's far distance,
Okay, before we start, for those with a handphone, can you put it into a silent mode, please? Okay. Good evening, Bhante, brothers and sisters, and all the devotees. Thank you very much for making effort to come.
This auspicious hour, we welcome all of you one evening with Bhante Sujiva, and a big thank you to Bhante for despite his very tight schedule, and also to all our Bhante and welcome Dr. G, and especially for tonight's talk. To allocate us for slot for these talks, and also a big thank you to English section cabinets who allowed us to use this hall for this event. Bhante will share with us
Not just tonight talks, they were all together 3 talks. Bhante has very kind to agree to 3 talks. That's why after tonight, you have another one on Saturday morning, also the same place here. This is under the English section. So it's from 9:30 to 11:30, puja followed by the talks. And then after that, there is a dana, offerings of a lunch dana for Bhante. So you are most welcome to come and have a chance to do dana or to acquire some merits. 11:30, but please come earlier for the talks and the puja if you can. Saturday morning, this time is on Saturday morning. And then the third talk is on Sunday, which is in BDFA. Anybody doesn't know where is BDFA can contact one of us to get the location later on. BDFA is also the same thing, but except we start at 10:30. The talk is 10:30 to 11:30, followed by dana also, the lunch dana offering of food. KBS is strictly vegetarian. The BDFA is optional. It's up to you whether you like to use vegetarian or non-vegetarian. But preferably, please don't bring too spicy or oily food. Okay. Tonight's talks will be mindfulness during COVID time. But before this, for those who are still new to us, we just like to let you know, Bhante is a Malaysian-born Ban, first ordained in Thai tradition and later studied under the Burmese, especially Mahasi Sayadaw, who is profound in Vipassana practice, according to the Satipatthana Sutta. Bhante traveled widely throughout the world to teach and conduct meditation, and he has not been able to come back to Malaysia because of his MCO schedule. So He was just back about 2 weeks ago, so we are one of the fortunate one to able to grab him. So we grab hold of him, and he kindly come for a few days with us, and kindly consent to give the talks. Actually, he's supposed to be here only to relax and take a rest. Bhante is not feeling very well. So beside Vipassana, Bhante actually is a prolific writer. He wrote on especially meditation practice, but also in poems. And Bhante is a very good photographer. So Madam Sim has kindly give us the books there. These are all books by Bhante Sujiva. So if you like, you can take. And actually, Bhante agreed this afternoon, say that he will autograph the books for you, rare occasion. Because we have books, but we are don't have much chance for Bhante to autograph. So you better grab. There are not that many, no matter which one. Okay, so without much ado, like the Mangala Sutta say, associating with the wise and opportune hearing of the Dhamma is the highest blessing. So I should not talk too much. We should now fold our palms together and request Bhante to give us the 5 precepts before he commences tonight's talk. We say sadhu, sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu.
Just to keep track of the time. I think we usually begin with taking the refuges and the 5 precepts. So you go in, please follow up to me. This one nearer. Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang
saranang gacchami,
Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Surameraya Macca Pamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyami. Bhante. Sirena Sukhating Yanti, Sirena Bhoga Sampada, Sirena Nibbutting Yanti, Asma Silang Visotaye. Good evening, everybody. It's been some time since I was last here. I can hardly recognize many of you. You are not so old, that means I really don't know you. But never mind. Huh? This talk is begin with a simple talk. As I've always been speaking about, it's about mindfulness and the practice of meditation. So to begin with, I start with the beginning again, about the nature of mindfulness. For a beginner, it is the most difficult part because you are dealing with the mind. And the mind is something which is quite unknown, mysterious, even though it has been with us since time immemorial. When we come to this world, the mind came with us. When you go, the mind will go with us. But what the mind is, not many people can understand. I remember once when I was in Singapore, I was with a friend who practiced meditation, but the wife doesn't know. So she asked me, "What do you do?" I said, "We practice meditation." "What is meditation?" "Well, we train the mind in a way so that it can make us happy, peaceful." And she asked, "But then what is the mind?" This comes as a surprise to me because it is so simple and yet so difficult to understand. And she, as a normal housewife, obviously asked a very proper question. No? It sounds rather silly, but it's true. Not many people know what the mind is. So I have to put it in a simple way. Said, when you are sad and angry, have you been sad and angry before? Say yes. I said, that's the mind. Are you happy before? Yes. That's the mind. No? So it is introducing her to a mental field, which people have always taken for granted and identified with. When that happens, what usually happens is the mind controls them without them knowing. They think they control themselves, but the mind is usually more powerful. That's where meditation comes in. But the mind is not one thing. The mind is made of many components, many forces. And so you look at the Abhidhamma, metaphysics, they classify into many types of consciousness and many types of mental states. And there are different combinations of all this. I'm sure some of you have learned Abhidhamma. Mesu, do you learn Abhidhamma? Of course, huh? Yes. So, that is important because when we practice meditation, we have to have a general map of the mind. What it's doing to us and how we are going to control it. So that is very important. But we have to start from the very beginning. The beginning is mindfulness. You may have heard a lot of this about this word mindfulness, what it is. And to some extent, it is true. Sometimes it may not be quite so correct. But anyway, If you have heard something about it, that's a start. Mindfulness comes in different ways. Generally, how do they define mindfulness? This is also something not easy to understand. I would define mindfulness as clarity. The first definition is clarity, and clarity comes with peace and softness. Imagine your mind. You're in a state. Your mind is clear. That means like very clear, like a morning star, or the clear water. If you're confused and muddy and you don't know what's going on, then you are not clear. Then you are not clear. So that means you're not mindful. Another characteristic of mindfulness is when the mind is mindful, it is peaceful. That means if you are disturbed, you are angry and you are worried and all that, unstable, then you definitely are not mindful. Mindful is your mind is at peace, you are in control of what is happening and so on. Then you're mindful. Okay? And mindfulness, when you're mindful, your mind is soft and flexible, not hard and rigid. Imagine your mind like that. If you can keep your mind like that, you'll be happy all the time. It's a very simple thing. But remember one thing, that just because you know something, you are mindful. Knowing is not mindfulness. Knowing is consciousness. But when your knowing comes with mindfulness, then it's the mindful consciousness. Let's say a person, are you aware of things? Yes, I'm aware. I'm in this temple. I'm aware I'm talking to you. I'm aware I'm listening to you. That is knowing. You may not be mindful. You may be listening to me, but your mind is somewhere else. Your mind is disturbed. Then you're not mindful. Okay? So you make sure your mind is clear, peaceful, and then soft. And then you know. Then the mindfulness comes with the consciousness. This is very wide. The field of mindfulness is very wide. There is a story about the Buddha teaching Abhidhamma to Sariputta, his chief disciple. The chief disciple is very intuitive, very smart, so he didn't have to say much, and Sariputta understood. The example is like the Buddha pointed to the sea. And when you point to the sea and you see the sea, then you see the whole consciousness with the mindfulness. Yeah? Similarly, when I say knowing, you know, yes, knowing, that is the consciousness. But it is only a small part. When I say mindfulness, I talk of mindfulness as clarity. This clarity is one part, but you have to see the whole thing. All right? The essence of mindfulness is clarity, peacefulness, softness. Essence. It's just like, what is water? You know water, I'll show you the water. There's water. But that's not the only thing about water. It is also the rain, it is also your tap water, it is also your toilet water, it's also your cup of tea, it's also the whole ocean. And that is also water, but in different forms. Alright? And so when you say mindfulness as the clear water, and then it's the clarity of mind at the present moment. Okay? You have to remember this, because when you do meditation, please be mindful. This is the very basic. When you start to concentrate and meditate on your nose, on your whatever visualization, or your rising, falling, the first step is mindfulness. Okay? Like in the Anapanasati Sutta, what it says, sitting cross-legged, mindfulness sat in front of him. Then he watched the in-breath mindfully, out-breath mindfully, short, long, mindfully. So before he follows the object, he must be mindful. So when you start doing walking meditation, right step, left step, left step, when you stand, your mind is thinking of home, I want to go home, I don't want to meditate, I want to sleep, and then you're not mindful and you walk like a fool. So you must stand, make sure your mind is present, your mind is mindful, your mind is clear, and then you start seeing. We say that mindfulness is a seed from which all wholesome and good states grow. You sit and try to concentrate, does it work? Sometimes it works, sometimes it gets worse. So when your mind is disturbed and angry and you try to sit and meditate, your anger becomes even stronger. Well, because you didn't start with the mindfulness. Mindfulness is like the seed when you plant, and then it grows. You have to take care of it, and it grows strong, and then it takes care of you. So you must get to have an idea of what mindfulness is, and as you develop mindfulness in your practice, whether it's concentration meditation or vipassana meditation or even daily life or whatever work you do, then you watch how the mindfulness works, how the mindfulness grows. That means you understand more about mindfulness through your experience in it. Yeah? Many people can't meditate. Bhante, I meditate, no progress. Then ask, do you know what mindfulness is? Don't know. You don't know what mindfulness is, you cannot be mindful. How do you know what is happening to you? So you have to make sure, once you know what mindfulness is, okay, I want to be mindful, then you know how to bring the state of mind is. Because most people, when they want to meditate and they try to be mindful, they think mindfulness is concentration. So they watch rising and falling, concentrate on falling, and there's concentration and there's no mindfulness. So finally you even let's say you're chanting a mantra, Namo Panchim Pusa, Namo Amitabha, 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 and sometimes they're not mindful. They're just repeating it like a parrot. No? After that they go blank, What? So they're not mindful, they may be developed concentration, but not right concentration. Yeah? So similarly, the mindfulness must start from the very beginning. Then it goes to different types of mindfulness applied. Yeah? Mindfulness in daily life. When you cook, when you eat, when you do mindfulness in daily life. This is important because mindfulness is a key factor to distinguish between a wholesome and unwholesome state of mind. Unwholesome, that means bad karma, bad state of mind. Bad state of mind is easily recognized by the presence of the three evil roots: craving, anger, delusion. When you have craving, anger, delusion, or all its forms, then you are not mindful. Better to sleep. When you sleep, you're not having an unwholesome, evil state of mind. It's a neutral state of mind. But mindfulness is something else. You have to get to know it. So when you get to know what mindfulness, then you can try to be mindful in your walking, in your sitting, in your eating, in your drinking. And that's what practice, the first step of a retreat is. You have to try to be mindful in all your activities from the beginning of the day until you fall asleep. And if you can do that, then you also can be mindful of all the activities you do in the daily life. Daily life is more difficult because our actions are more complicated. I thought you're supposed to translate, sorry. No. 谁不会听英语? Okay, then you translate what you can remember. Sorry, I forgot. I got carried away. Takai lah.
小瑞Bhante的中文是讲的比我还好，但是 OK， 我讲一个比较简单的，就是今晚我们要讲的课题就是正念。正念的内容是什么呢？就是当下的那一刹那的你的心的清净就是正念。这个 definition， 这个就是解析什么叫正念。正念，当我们说要来禅修的时候，最重要的关键是我们先要了解什么叫正念。如果你对正念的了解的正确的话，那么你的禅修才算是正确的。要不然，不管你用任何的方法，比如说用阿那巴那萨蒂，就是观呼吸，或者观肚子，或者观想，或观腹部上下。如果没有正念的话，你只是在升起这个邪定，因为没有正念的定力，就是在这边从内观的角度来说就是邪定，所以不具有正确的正念修行的道路。所以我们先要搞清楚正念的内容是什么。刚才Bhante有说，基本上它的特质是clarity 就是清楚，然后 softness 你的心念必须很柔和，处于一种柔和的状态。然后正念呢，不是一个想法，不是一个意识的状态，说我去想一个东西干嘛干嘛的一个目标，不属于这个。因为正念的内容非常广泛，比如说水可以放在 a cup of tea， 就是茶也是水海也是水厕所的水也算是水。所以你的水是什么水？所以那个水啊，如果是正念的水的话，必须要清净的、柔和的，当下那一刹那这个是关键性的，大家必须了解正念跟一些所谓修定的方法的区别在哪里。That's all, Bhante. That's what I can remember.
Okay, good enough. So something that to make it simple, there are two things. One is mindfulness. The other one is willpower. Willpower is something like an intention. Something like an intention. I want to be mindful. So if you wish to be mindful, then the mindfulness will come out. Something very simple. You want to open the door, I open the door. Because you have the wish. You let the wish follow and you open the door. If you think you should be angry and you want to be angry, you can make yourself angry if you really want to, but it's useless. It will create more suffering. But in this case, you have a wish. I want to be mindful. Not I just want to be mindful. I want to be as mindful as I can, moment to moment, from the morning I wake up to the moment I fall asleep. When you sleep, you cannot help. You are sleeping. Right? But when you are awake, I always try to be present and try to be mindful. Can you do that? Of course, you can try. It is not something so impossible. When your mind is very disturbed, like when you're very depressed, and your mind is overcome by strong defilements, then of course it's difficult. But in ordinary situations, you can. You make some effort. I must be mindful, I must be present, I must do things properly. You can. Is this as a simple beginning? Okay. This is the first step, mindfulness in daily life. This is important because mindfulness makes a difference between a wholesome and unwholesome state of mind. That I said just now, that I'm craving anger delusion, your mind is unwholesome. You don't have mindfulness. Imagine what is it when the mind is very angry. It's like on fire. Yeah? When your mind has a lot of craving, it's also something which is very disturbed, very wretched. You must get something, otherwise there's no peace. Yeah? When deluded, there's a mind that is dull, a mind that is like mad. It's a very stressed state of mind. So when you don't have mindfulness, that's the direction of the mental force that is going. And if you don't prevent it, it becomes very strong, very more and more strong. That's how depressions takes place. That's how obsessions and addictions takes place. No? It goes to a point that you cannot stop, and then you have a serious mental problem. But if you can be mindful and you try to be mindful all the time, then it becomes stronger and stronger. Every day your mind becomes more peaceful, more clear, more soft. It's good, isn't it? Why don't people do that? Because they don't think that you should do that. They never consider it seriously. There's a lot of nowadays all those mindfulness-based stress therapy and all those things are based on this simple principle of being mindful. When you're more mindful, you know what's going on. From there it arises things like concentration and understanding. When you know what people are doing, what people are talking, then you know better what their intention is, what they're doing, and so on. So this becomes what you call concentration and wisdom in daily life. And translate that.
刚才Bhante就讲到说，我们在日常生活中怎样以正念为生活为基础，就是说我们必须保持正念的生活。那么作为初步的话呢，我们有2个要点，就是当下那一刹那保持正念，让我们的心清净清楚。第二呢，我们要有这个愿，就是说我要以这个正念为我的动力，生活的动力。所以从生活当中，我们必须每刹那都保持正念，因为正念呢，能够让我们分辨从我们的生活当中分辨是wholesome and wholesome，就是说，记住善的生活状态跟不善的生活状态。如果有正念的话，我们保持这个精进力的话，保持这个持续的正念的话，慢慢的这个正念的力量就越来越强，可以帮助我们面对我们的生活。要不然一般上凡夫呢，或者一般上没有这个正念的训练的话呢，它会被我们的基本的三毒啦，就是贪啊、嗔啊、痴啊。比如说嗔恨心就像火烧一样痴呢就是无明，让我们的心非常的模糊等等，就是贪嗔痴这个三毒了，我们的心就会被污染掉。如果没有正念的话，但是如果我们培养正念的话，慢慢的持续的正念呢，使我们的心的力量呢，清净的心的力量就越来越强，所以呢，我们就可以自然而然的生活的比较心地里面平静跟快乐。
A good example of this is what you call this COVID period. In this COVID period, the whole world is affected. Everyone is affected, and so many people get a lot of depressions. Many people commit suicide even. I have a lot of these friends in Europe. I've been in Europe. I was supposed to come back, but with this COVID situation, I cannot come back. And a lot of this, I was supposed to hold a lot of meditation retreats. I could not hold. Many were just cancelled. And you see, what happens was I was in the middle of a retreat. I was supposed to be in a place called Florence. I have a 1-week retreat. On the third day, pop, everything cut, everybody has to go home. No? I was supposed to hold a retreat somewhere, it was Venice, that side. Pop, we cut off, no retreat. So all the things, retreats were all cut off, everything was locked down. No? This is something we have to accept, for the good of everyone, so we try to follow our rules. But from what we hear from those psychotherapies and so on that we know, many of our friends are psychotherapists and psychiatrists, psychologists, we said the mental situation is very bad. Many people are in heavy depressions, even young people and all those. They are quite badly affected because I lived in Italy, and Italy is a very warm society in the sense that everybody they see, they hug and they kiss, and they are very free to travel in Europe. Everywhere they take a ticket and plan and a small backpack and they go anywhere in Europe, and then they sleep in the forest, and they are very free, happy people. But with these rules coming in, very difficult. Every country have their own rules. Sometimes you can travel only, you cannot get out of the house. If you're better, you can get up to your own town. If it becomes better, you can get up to your own state. And maybe the country. If your country is open, the other country is closed, so you cannot travel. And so there's a lot of lockdown, and also on top of that, there are a lot of these deaths. When it started, people just die. Because you see, Italy is full of old people. They have a very good health system there. People live to 80 years old, 90 years old, a lot. And the old folks home, is very, usually they are quite well taken care of. Everything is provided and so on. Yeah. So the what they call the health insurance for the country in Italy is very high. But they take care of the people. So when the COVID thing came, they were inexperienced to handle the situation. Many old folks home, they just spread to the whole old folks home and all die. Most of them die. And the old people, they have all these problems with, with diabetes, with this a bit of tumor here, cancer here, everything they have, but they're still alive because the health care is very good. And so coffins and coffins keep going out of the whole the hospital. Some children, people don't know, they go out and play, mix up, come back to the house, they bring the COVID, and the father and mother die. They go to hospital, they don't see them again, they come back in a box. It's a very traumatic for them. So now it's much better. Now they know better how to handle it, and the variants are becoming lighter and so on. But it was a terrible situation. So difficult to handle. And of course, now the business is going to go down. Italy is mainly a tourist industry. Because very beautiful country, people go there for kai. But it's all closed down. But for those who have meditated before, there is a difference. For me, there's a difference. I don't hold any more retreats. I'm quite happy. I don't have to teach so many. I can finally meditate to myself. Yeah. And in fact, I'm always been complaining I don't have enough time to meditate. Now I have more than enough time to meditate. Too much time. But I can't complain because I get good progress. When I do longer periods of meditation, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I get control. And it's also easier to accept because you cannot do any plans. You don't know what the situation is like. The people that don't know, they've set the rules. You must not do this, do that. They're not sure what the rules mean, Because can you wear mask? Can the mask be worn outside on the streets or not? So many rules you never think of would come out, and so a lot of uncertainty. Long-term planning cannot. You want to go somewhere, the moment you can go, you better go. Because next day you may not be able to travel anymore. So, but if you practice vipassana and so, it has always, reality has always been like that. You can die anytime. The teachings of the Buddha tell us you can die anytime. But people say yes, 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 but they don't believe it. No, I'm not going to die tomorrow. And so, but when you look at practice vipassana is coming back to the reality, the actuality of the here and now. The moment it arises, it passes away. The moment it arises, it passes away. You never know what will happen next. That's the inner reality in the mind. When you practice meditation, vipassana, you see this happening to you moment to moment. And so you can accept better. Well, you shouldn't complain. You're still alive and you can still be mindful. So be mindful. He said, be happy with what you have and make the best use of what you have rather than be sad and complain of what you don't have. This is a simple thing. You look at, for example, once someone asked me, Afghanistan. Because Afghanistan, all this, when the Taliban took over, of course the women suffer. No education, nothing. They said they cover themselves from head to feet. And that's the religion. We won't go into this. But somebody asked me, you talk about mindfulness. How to be mindful in Afghanistan as a woman? They cannot. How can you be? Because the whole environment and country is against you. Unless you have been practicing before. You can do something. You can hide in the toilet and try to meditate. Still you can do something. At least you can get peace of mind. You cannot go to school and get your university degree. At least you can still have a chance of getting Nibbana. This is better than university degree. So, but and that situation is difficult. So I told the lady, very difficult, cannot. Unless you go there to Afghanistan and you learn to teach them mindfulness and meditation. But please don't get caught. Otherwise they may shoot you. So you are in this country, we are free, you get time to practice meditation. If no meditation, you cannot just learn it and practice home. It's a great blessing. Because you get a lot of good karma, you get to follow spiritual teachings, you get to improve. All this play a big part in being happy in our life. Yeah. And if you can practice vipassana, all the wisdom of the Buddha is there before you. It's whether how much you practice, how well you practice, and you get the right teacher and so on, you progress. People ask me, can people progress in meditation? I say, of course. Everybody can progress in mindfulness. Can people get insight? Yes, people can get insight. It's not so difficult to get insight. Depends on what level of insight you're talking about. You talk about those high level enlightenment, somebody, that one is something else. That one take a long time. But for simple, basic insights can make a big difference in one's life. And from there you accumulate. I've taught people who meditate, those who are persistent and follow instructions. You don't follow instructions, that's a different story. Follow instructions and then you practice regularly. Most can get insight. High insight is a different thing. They can get insight because the basic insights are not so difficult. You must follow your precepts, you must be willing to let go of your defilements. What it needs is a clear mind of the present moment. Clarity, peacefulness, and the presence of mind in the present reality, here and now. Where is truth? Where is reality? It's in the here and now. But how mindful can a person be in the here and now? You see, you sit for a while, watch rising and out, right? 1, 2, 3 times the mind chabut, run away, go for a ride, and come back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ride. Even you chant, Omitovo, you chant, and after that you get tired, you fall asleep. That's what children are about, isn't it? You see two children play, wake up, they play, and then they fight, fight. After that, they get tired, they fall asleep. Then they wake up, they get again, play, then they fight, then they fall asleep. At least when they wake up, they don't fight again, no? But for big people, they fight, they don't forget, no, they remember, yeah, you did like that, I'm going to kill you until tomorrow. That's when it becomes very complicated. So, but practicing in daily life is good, but sometimes not enough for deeper concentration. So for stronger mindfulness, more powerful mindfulness, to take you further into more higher levels of consciousness, like samadhi, like jhanas, like all those enlightenment states, and you need to have much stronger mindfulness. So that's why you have this meditation. Meditation, actual meditation, bhavana, is when you really concentrate the mindfulness to become more powerful. It's just like a light, You concentrate the light, a small light becomes fire. Just like, like in the Chinese story, the poor boy doesn't have electricity. So he collect all those fireflies and put in a thing, and then he can study with the fireflies. It's an old Chinese story I learned when I was a boy, young chap. So similarly, concentration, you have to slowly gather, and then it becomes powerful. It has a momentum. It's like a water, it flows. The water keeps flowing, it becomes stronger and stronger. But this, when you want to be so strong, you have to have specific training. So you have this concentration training in concentration. When concentration is stronger, then you go to insight training. Concentration training, the simplest way is to find a meditation object of concentration. You can concentrate on anything. You can concentrate on cup, you can concentrate on mobile phone, you can concentrate on anything, but not all objects are suitable. You concentrate on, I want to do concentration of Sarawak Laksa. So you concentrate Sarawak Laksa, after that your Sarawak Laksa coming out. The next thing you go, you will find yourself in a shop eating Sarawak Laksa. That has nothing to do with mindfulness, there's something to do with craving. You have the wrong concentration. So you must have some proper objects, like Buddhas. When you see a Buddha, your mind is clear, your faith. It's a suitable object. Anapanasati or something. Objects, there's certain objects which are suitable. It does not create craving, anger, delusion. But it's not the object. You must have the mindfulness there. The object is not enough. So you have the suitable object is like a ground, soil. Your mindfulness is like a seed. You plant a seed on the ground, it grows. If the ground is fertile, then you water it well, it grows faster. So concentration is like that. You have a suitable meditation, concentration object, you just keep bringing your mindfulness to that object, the concentration grows. When it becomes close, it becomes powerful. Like the light, small light becomes bigger and bigger light. Like one small string becomes many strings tied together. It becomes more powerful. Then you can do more things. Only that, remember that in this case, it is in the mind door. This is important. You concentrate because the deep concentration occurs in the mind door. Your eyes, ears, there are five senses. They tend to be weak. So to become strong, you have to go into the mind door. When you go into the mind door, then everything is there. It becomes powerful. So, but how to do this? It's a long story. We don't have enough time here to say it. I'll say something on Saturday. Development of concentration. But remember, the first thing is mindfulness. When your mindfulness, continuous mindfulness, stay with your meditation object. You can do that very well. Concentration is no problem. Concentration is a problem when you cannot calm down. You have too much habitual bad craving and anger. That's the problem. That's why the observance of sila, morality, discipline, help to reduce all this. Oh, I forgot again.
OK, try my best. 所以我们说日常的正念呢，我们最现实的一个例子就是这个新冠肺炎的状态，就是 COVID-19。COVID-19 新冠肺炎呢，这个新冠这个病毒呢，现在是席卷全世界，那么让我们全世界人呢都感到很痛苦。那么尤其是Bhante他住在长期是住在意大利，意大利是一个非常自由自由的国家，很温暖的国家，我可以到处跑，自由的活动。那么意大利人也是很热情的，常常可以拥抱等等。但是当他被 COVID-19 袭击的时候呢，那么意大利人受很大的苦了，因为他们自由习惯了，变成说 COVID-19 来的时候呢，他们政府呢设定很多规矩，就说不可以出去啦，不可以干嘛啦，工作啦、上课啦等等。所以意大利人在那个时刻呢，就受到很大的苦，他们不知道应该做什么。那时候就发生了很多这个忧郁症。根据Bhante的一些心理学家或者一些心理医生呢，他说非常的严重，尤其是年轻一代，他们不知道干什么好。所以 COVID-19 呢，就是一个很好的例子。但是如果那些有修过内观禅，之前有修过内观禅的朋友们呢，他们在那个闭塞的状态那个社会当中呢，他们反而比较懂得怎样应付。像Bhante自己，他说以前呢没有时间自己禅修了，就是不停的有禅修营，几个星期啊，几个月都很忙的，自己没有办法做自己的禅修。那现在 COVID-19 来了，社会都闭塞掉了，那么反而他自己有很多时间来自我的禅修这样。那么另外一个例子就是说，我们说常常要保持正念，现前的一刹那保持心境清楚。但是他有一位朋友又问Bhante说，那么那个阿富汗人怎样来修正念？你说阿富汗呢被这个塔利班呢控制过后呢，妇女呢受到很大的挫折，很不自由。Bhante说你只能够利用你手头上能够做到的东西，空间、时间等等，来锻炼自己的心思。就是说我们外在的环境不允许的话，我们内在的这个现实的状态当中，尽量自己能够提醒自己保持正念。这个是一个外在环境不利的时候，我们可以做到的事情。那么，再说这个正念最重要的是说，我们所谓说正念做任何的修行，有正念的话，就是这个三毒了就不会进来。那么尤其是说，怎样来训练我们的正念？那么当然需要一些锻炼，需要一些技巧。但是如果我们明白正念的意义以及掌握它的方法的话，那么慢慢的我们就可以培养这个镇定的 concentration， 那么这个力量呢就慢慢的培养起来。比如说以前中国一个故事，就是这个小孩子他没有办法有灯来照明自己读书的话，他就利用那个萤火虫把这个萤火虫收集起来，他就可以看书，可以学习。同样的，我们如果以正念为基础的话，我们可以培育我们的镇定，我们的心的力量也就越来越明亮，那么这个定力呢就越来越强，那么就有办法使我们在正念的禅修当中呢得到利益。比如说初禅二禅、三禅如果是以正念为基础的话，那个培育的定的力量呢是非常的强大的。那么 ，sorry， 对， 因为今晚的时间不足了，所以我们留到星期六，还是在居士林9点半，另外会开始怎样培养我们的镇定。
There are some things positive from the COVID situation. For example, after the COVID, people become very aware of the spiritual practice. Before that, people tend to take things for granted. But now, you see, I don't know about here. Suppose here also in Italy and Europe, when they retreat, any type of retreat, they're all full. And they really, because they value the mental. No? And those who have practiced meditation before, like there was one young chap, he started just before the COVID. And after that, there was what that helped him through the COVID. He has a base to work on. Because in the COVID period, it's not altogether cut off. They have this Zoom. Zoom. I also have some retreats with a Zoom. For example, I haven't been to Netherlands for a long time. So they arranged for retreat, Zoom retreat. I had a Zoom retreat with the Dutch people. It has some results now. And so this is one positive side, that people become very much spiritual driven because they know death can come anytime. You never know. Everything is so uncertain. And you have to learn to live with this uncertainty, which is the original state of things. It's just closest to reality. That's why there is one very beautiful sutta or verse, which is actually a summary of the whole Buddha's practice. It's called the Bhadikarathagata or sutta. It starts with the verse like this. Cita Atitana Wagamayang Napati Kange Anagata. You cannot, do not trace back the past. Do not wonder about the practice of the future. How is it? 不要执着过去的事啊，不要怀疑未来的事啊。dan nama kangke anak kata atitang wapahinantang apatanja anagatang. What is gone, what is past is gone. The future has not yet arrived. 过去的事已经没有了，未来事还没有到。Pacupanang jayo damang tata tata vipassati. Pacupanang damang, the present state. Pacupanang tata tata as it is. One knows, one sees it as it is. And one sees the present occurrence as it is. 他知道很清楚当下的法是什么。Asangkirang asangkupang, invincibly, unshakably. This one you translate. Invincibly is what?
所以Bhante 是说这个 COVID-19 的这个状态呢，提醒我们这个生命其实无常的啊，我们必须要接受这个现实。当下的我们就应该知道说，这个自然的法本来就是如此，所以我们要接受。所以 COVID-19 未必是说把我们的所有的状态都闭塞掉，反而可以让我们反省生命的真实的现象是什么。 就是那种无常了，生命随时会灭亡。那么在一本经，那个Bhante刚才有讲了，那本经呢有一段，其实我们中文叫记着，我说不要执着于过去，或者不要回忆过去，不要憧憬未来，就是说对未来有什么幻想或者抱有什么期望不要执着于过去，不要憧憬于未来，然后当下刹那必须要清楚，当下必须看清楚当下的现实，对。
Invincibly, unshakably.
这个这种见地必须是坚固，不能够动摇。
不要动，很正确。
不要动摇，对。
这个讲到了正念啊，在当下的时候很尖锐、很真切，没有怀疑的，就是那个看得清楚啊。Sangirang asangkupa, tang vidha manubrahaye, on what should be penetrated. 很清楚的知道那个目标呢是需要突破的，看到突破。Sangkirang sangkumatang vidamanubraya jewa kicamatapang kojanya maranang suwe. At this very moment, one must make the effort. Who knows what if death will come tomorrow? 当下现在需要精进必修明天死亡来临也有可能。讲了那个经里面讲 Nahino sangarantena mahasenena. There is no compromise with the army of Mara.
那个不是能够跟魔王妥协的，就是死亡。
当为巴德格拉多的三多阿切格的穆尼蒂，这个佛陀就是叫做一个什么一个sage，一个圣人这样嘛。
圣人面对。
所以这个就很短的讲到修禅的精华。你上一个人的世界，我们讲哪里可以？我有孩子，我有家庭，有什么？这个对，这个看的比较世界比较广。如果看到真理的精华呢，就是在当下。如果没有你，哪里你知道这个世界是什么谁受苦啊？就是你受苦嘛所以那个真理呢，就是在当下所以如果你当下有这个真念呢，那个就是智慧了，那个就是开悟了。这个是一个很深的意义这个是我简单讲到是这个正念怎样从日常生活带来的快乐，到修禅定力的快乐，到智慧解脱的快乐它有很多方面。但是多数呢，在你们呢都是开始是正念在日常生活了，那有时间修呢，就比较认识这个定力的正念，智慧的正念。So this is in just the practice. The mindfulness starts from the daily life, and when you recognize the nature of daily mindfulness, then you go into the concentrated form of mindfulness. With the concentrated form of mindfulness, it goes into the insight form of mindfulness that gives you the liberation. This is in short the mindfulness that one has to try to practice. 这给你大一个概念这个正念你讲清醒的知觉清醒的知觉听到我们知道 要修到有定力，要修到有智慧，要修到有解脱，是不容易啊。但是也是不讲不可以啦。我们的能力啊，修到哪里也有到那个境界的好处啊，这想啊。当然，如果你想修行，它比较强的、比较定，这个要有方法啊。这个希望星期六可以讲比较多一点的。Hopefully, I say a bit more on the practice of concentration, insight practice, on Saturday, and in the last day, where is it the Buddha Dhamma Roshima, and then I talk more about insight, anatta. Okay, I'm open for questions.
萨鲁萨鲁萨鲁。Bhante说，大家有什么问题？
没有问题啊 ？No questions. No questions. We do 5 minutes meditation. Yeah, to give you an idea what mindfulness is. The first step is to relax. 现在我们做一点5分钟、10分钟的打坐啊，不要看清这个短的时间了，所以要带你们比较认识比较清楚，正念是什么？深呼吸，呼出的时候放松。Take deep breath. When you breathe out, relax. Slowly relax the top of the head down to the neck. And shoulders down, the arms with the hands and fingers. 放松头部、头顶，慢慢下到颈、喉咙，慢慢又放松肩膀、手到手指。Relax. 放松。Relax the chest, into the chest, and down to the abdomen. If you wish, you can continue to take deep, slow breathing to help you relax. 放松胸部，放松到胸内，心脏那边。慢慢放松到腹部、内脏。Relax the back, shoulder blades, spine, the waist, the sacrum, and down to the buttocks. 放松背后，一直下那个脊柱骨。 到腰，到臀部。Relax the legs down to the feet and toes. 从臀部放松，脚、大脚到脚板、脚趾。Relax again from top of head, gently from the top to the neck. Then the shoulders down, the arms, the fingers. 又重复一次，放松头顶、头部到颈、喉咙，到肩膀、到手、到手指。Relax the chest, deep into the chest, the abdomen, and deep into the abdomen. 放松胸部、胸内、腹部、腹内。Relax. 放松 clear, peaceful, 又放松，心要清净，心要平静。Relax the back, the shoulders, down the spine, the waist, buttocks, hips, into the muscles, nerves, bones. 放松背后。脊柱骨一直下到腰、臀部，放松深入到肌肉、精神线、骨头。Relax the legs down to the feet and toes from the buttocks. Relax deep into the bones, nerves, muscles. 放松脚到脚板、脚趾，放松深入到骨头、精神线、肌肉。Now pause for a moment to look at your state of mind. It is peaceful, it is clear, it is soft to some degree. Recognize this state of mind. We call it mindfulness, sati in Pali. 那现在你停一下，注意你的心，你的心态， 它是清净的，它清楚的，它是平静的、柔软的、富的。这个理论是呢，就是正念。所有人开始打坐，开始做什么？你要记得这个心态，我们叫做心所，叫做正念，清醒的直觉。你更保留比较久一点，它会越来越强的，越稳的。So you can keep this in mind, let it be more stable and grow, become stronger and more useful. If you want to do concentration meditation, with this state of mind stable, you can watch your breath, you can watch your rising, falling easily. When you cannot, always go back to sweeping the awareness of the body or mindfulness and start again. 在这个情况，你顾正念，你要注意什么目标，你也可以跟得到，没有问题。要管呼吸也好，要管腹部上下好，要管痛也好，你要念佛也好，因为它有正念呢，它心比较容易控制。For a start, just try to concentrate on your breath, nostril. You have been falling, rising, falling of the abdomen. Follow the rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling. In, out. Just keep following it longer and longer, and the concentration will build up. 这个有正念的基础如果你要观什么目标，它可以跟住没有问题。呼吸也好，腹部上下也好，痛也好，你跟着上下进入呼出，吸进呼出。跟他比较久了，那清净清楚会越强，没有问题。那个就是真定啊。And you can keep to this object with mindfulness longer, mindfulness becomes stronger and stable. That is what you call right concentration. 如果妄念来，你知道这个是妄念，不要紧，是自然的，就拉回你的主要的目标。You happen to be thinking, just be aware, oh yes, thinking I'm right. It's natural. You just bring it back to your object. 如果你分成了，忘记了，再清醒起来，又再联系。那么他就不会一直联系了。You fall sleepy, dull, you forget. As soon as you realize it, okay, let's start again. And you will start again. 15 minutes of meditation. 好，可以起来，我们已经做了15分钟。有什么问题吗？不然我们就练一点回想啊。什么？哦，有签名书。OK， 就是回向啊，回向先啊。Idang me punyang asava kayavahang. This by my marriage, may I purify my mind. 为了我的修行，可以净化我的心。Idang me punyang nibbanasa pacaya hotu. But my practice may lead me to the highest peace of Nibbana. 为了我们的修行能够带我们最高的清净涅槃。Imang no punya bagang sabba sattanang deva. 我的修行希望会带众生快乐。下一次又可以讲修行多一点了那么也可以做多一点，久一点，最少半个小时。
Can you stay for where you sign the books?
Yeah, of course. If you give me
Okay, thank you very much for staying with us for the last 1.5 hours. So, Bhante have given you a taste of what is the Dhamma of mindfulness. And as Bhante just said just now, mindfulness will lead to concentration and insight knowledges. So, we are invited to come along on Saturday. Part 2, concentration, 9:30 on Saturday morning. We see you, hopefully, here. Okay. And then, okay, just for those who may be interested, we are actually starting our meditation class again next Thursday evening. Right? And the agreement was, it's a 1+3 thing. 1+3 means the first Thursday is a metta session. And second, third, and fourth session is the Vipassana. So if you can, you're invited to come along 7:30 to 9:30. Okay, correct? Yeah. And okay, finally, Bhante has kindly agreed to stay behind for a while to sign the books. So if you want, you better take one now. This is your last chance. You don't have many chances to get Bhante's book and with him to autograph for you. Thank you very much.